What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in for another video. I'm Eric and we're at one of our renovations today, and today is Bond Kote day. So we're going to show you the process, how to apply it, what it looks like when it's done. But one really cool thing I got for you guys is we have a rep from Basecrete Products to come out and talk about the product, talk about the difference in the polymer resins to make the Bond Kote and how it can apply and end up for the end user. So stay tuned for that, and we look forward to showing you the process. Alright, so we just got finished prepping the surface. We got the bottom row tile taped off and also the site markers on the steps and then also the floor returns. So now we're ready to mix the Basecrete and get started applying it.
Basecrete cementitious bonding resin. It's a kit, is 1 5-gallon bucket and 3 50-pound bags of powder. We make powders in gray, white, and black. So if you're doing clear tile, you want to use the white. Some guys even use it as a finish for ponds, fountains, so they can use the white, they can use the black, they can do a gray. The resin has a 2-year lifespan. The powder has a 1-year lifespan. Okay, obviously try to keep it in a cool, dry place as much as you can. Never add any water to it. If you need to make it a little thinner, add more of the resin. Okay, if you need more powder, just add more powder.
And that's a 2-year and a 1-year for storage.
For storage. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we're going to start out with a 1/4 bucket of resin. We'll dump in the bag. We'll mix it. We'll mix it until it's like a pancake batter, and then we're going to let it fall set for 4 minutes. I know eventually, by the time you get done, you'll be down to 3 minutes, down to 2 minutes. So we tell you 4 minutes to start, but if you can do 3-minute fall set, you're good. Okay, so you let it sit for 3 to 4 minutes, then you beat it up one more time, agitate it, and then we're going to roll it on. You can roll it on, you can trowel it on, you can squeegee it on, you can hopper it on. So we have multiple ways that you can apply this material. If we're doing a waterproofing, we're going to do 2 coats, and that's a 2-day process. We're going to do the first coat 1 day, let it set for 24 hours, come back the next day, do the second coat. If all we want to do is Bond Kote, then it's 1 coat, 1/16 of an inch thick. Okay? With 2-part for waterproofing is 2 1/16 inch coats or 1/8 of an inch thick. If you want to do 1 coat and trowel it on 1/8 of an inch thick, you can. Just give it a couple days to cure. Okay? But we prefer 2-day process. Okay? With waterproofing. Tile line, if you just want to do the tile line with the waterproofing, especially if you're doing glass tile, negative edge, 360 spillover, then just do that part and do the 2-part. Do the two coats. And do the rest regular Bond Kote. Okay?
So the 2 coats again is 1 day?
You can do 1 day if you trowel it on 1/8 of an inch thick. And for tile.
1 day and you got to come back next day and do it again.
Otherwise,
only way to waterproof.
Only way to waterproof with rolling it on is a 1/16 of an inch. Day 1, come back the second day, 1/16 of an inch. And you do vertical 1 day, horizontal the next. Okay? That way you make sure you cross over and get the coverage. Okay? That'll give you a 10-year warranty to your customers on no issues with the shell leaking. Okay? So that's our spiel. That's our warranty. That's backing. We'll certify you today on just regular Bond Kote today. But if you guys want me to come back and do a waterproofing, then we'll do a 2-day training class. Okay? So day 1, in the first one, we're going to do a light mist on the plaster, just so that Bond Kote has basically has something to adhere to. When we do the second coat, you're not gonna wet down the Basecrete, because you don't want to have water in between those 2 layers. Otherwise, that's going to cause delamination. Okay, so when you do the second coat on your waterproofing, you're going to just come on and roll it on the second coat.
but you should, because another day, hose it down, let it dry for a while, or no?
If you want to hose it down, just make sure it's completely dry, okay?
Just in case like stuff.
Yeah, in case stuff comes in, you know, take your shop vac, suck it all up, you know, leaves. If you get rain, we're asking at least 4 hours of dry time. Okay, if you come back the next day and you have any white residue on the ground, then you've lost that bonding and you need to redo it. Okay?
So white runs mean it got rain.
It got
and
rain.
How long before it's actually dry with the rain? Like how long? If it's gonna rain an hour in advance, are we in trouble, or like?
If it's gonna rain an hour from now, yeah, we're probably in trouble. If we got at least 4 hours of dry time, then we're good. Okay?
We shouldn't lose our resin.
Yeah, you shouldn't see any white residue come off. If you see any white residue when you come back the next day, then you need to redo it. Okay? Because that means that the resin has come and drawn out of the Basecrete, and it's not going to have the bonding.
So it's a similar experience if you get drenched the polymeric sand and all the white comes out of it. That means it's gone. The
Yep.
adhesive.
Mm-hmm. The adhesive is gone. Absolutely. Any other questions you guys got?
Yeah. So when you're putting that back on, when you have an area where the rain is uncontrollable, is it having to bust that area out? Is it acid washing it, or is it just going over top of it with another coat?
It's best to scrape that. If you're doing a new pool, scrape it back to the bare concrete. If it's a plaster, going over a plaster, get back to the plaster. Okay? That way you make sure you got that solid bond. So yeah, you want to make it all disappear. Okay? Because we don't want to have any issue with saying, well, you know, this one area it got wet, and we went over it again, and then we didn't have that good bond. So we just feel a lot more comfortable if you just take it right back to the surface that you started with on your first bond. Okay. All right, that's it. Let's pour a quarter bucket in, and then we'll add the powder.
So we might have missed on the camera, but you first start off with the liquid.
Always, yep. You always start with the liquid first. Start with about a quarter to a third of a bucket of liquid, and then one bag of the powder, which is 50 pounds. And like I said, we can always add more resin. The consistency you want to get with this is it's like a pancake batter, okay, or a milkshake consistency.
From what store? What restaurant though?
I'm a Denny's guy, so Denny's.
You heard it here, guys. Denny milkshake consistency. Direct from the rep.
If you're a Village Inn or IHOP, okay, I don't know. So we've added the one bag. We got the quarter bucket of resin. Always use an electric mixer. Don't get the portable ones. They don't have enough torque, and they won't last. You can already see that we need more resin.
Yeah, see how it's starting to cake up? That means we need more resin, so that's what Will's adding right now.
Yep. So, again, you can always add resin.
Alright guys, so this is the consistency you're looking for, a lot like a Denny's milkshake. So Phil, what does something like this cover approximately?
So if we're just doing bond coating, I'll cover 450 square feet.
For one coat?
For one coat, 1/8 of an inch thick, or 1/16 of an inch thick, okay? If we're doing waterproofing, which would be 2 coats, this will cover 225 square feet.
And
that's an 1/8 of an inch thick.
Gotcha, and that was one bag?
One bag and about 3/4 or a quarter of the, or a third of the bucket. Okay, so we've let this rest for 3 to 4 minutes. Now we're just gonna agitate it one more time. And you can see we have that, still have that pancake consistency we're looking for. And now we're ready to roll. Okay, we just agitate it for about a minute. We'll put our paddle in the water.
Who's licking the spoon?
And we're ready to dip. So, first roll is always the toughest, and it's not like paint. You don't want to take any of it off. You just want to dip your roller in. You go right down, and you're going to go one stroke. Okay?
And why do you want to do just one instead of back up?
Because you don't want to get it too thin. The problem is a lot of guys think that they're painting, so we just want to roll it so we get coverage. And this is what we're looking for, is the stimples and the roughness, so the new plaster will grab onto it. So the first couple rolls are always going to be the hardest, because you got to get enough on the rollers to get it absorbed. And then we'll come back. And that's it, fellas.
So is there no concern with it having like little driplets that'll be soft and fall off? Like, are you worried about it?
No, because you'll hit it again. You'll just come back through like I'm doing now and just hit it.
So
Clean it up.
Little spurs on there and it dries.
The spurs are what you really want, because you want the plaster to grab it. Okay? And as we get around, thank God we put some tape around those floor returns. Did you bring any trowels?
No.
Okay. Well, you want to give it a shot?
Now it's real important to be careful where you're applying this, because if you let it sit and dry, it's not going to come off too easily. So you gotta take some care when you're actually applying this stuff.
Yeah. So make sure you do prep ahead of time. Cover all your tile, cover your floor returns, your eyeball returns.
Yeah, so we actually walked around and taped the entire bottom level of the tile, all the site markers, the floor returns, and all that kind of stuff around the entire pool, just to make sure we don't get it anywhere we don't want to or need to get it.
And then, so while Will's working on this bucket, we'll start the second bucket, get that going, so that when he finishes up, he can just keep on going. So that's why it's ideal if you could have 2 people at least, one guy mixing, one guy rolling. And then the other guy, when he's not mixing, he can go around and he can take the paint brushes and hit all the trim and get that all trimmed out. So like when we're going around this tile, we'll just take a paintbrush and go in here and get it all.
There's no reason to mix 2 buckets at once.
No, you only got about a 30-minute shelf life once you mix it up before it starts to get hard.
Work time, you mean, right?
Work time.
Okay.
Before it starts to get hard. And a lot of it will depend on the weather. If it's hot, sunny.
Today's a beautiful day.
Today's a perfect day. Got some overcast skies. Got a little breeze in the air. So while Will's working on that, I'll start on the second bucket. Get that.
so we just finished up for the day. We just packed up, cleaned up the area, and you can sort of see what it looks like. You can see where it's drying over there along the wall there, and where it's still a little wet here in the floor, but it's looking very good. Let's get out of the sun. You can see this ball completely bond coated, and then of course the pool. Now it's hard to tell in the pictures, but we taped off all the floor returns and the site markers and the light there. So this is what it looks like when you're done bond coating the pool. So we'll show you more progress as the pool gets resurfaced. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and we hope you all have a great day.